Hello and good morning, everyone. Welcome back to today's market outlook with me, Edmund. So today is a Wednesday, 9th of September 2020, and for yesterday on a Tuesday, we saw quite a number of volatility happening on the markets as the US and Canadian traders came back from their holidays on a Monday. Okay, so Monday was a holiday, Labor Day in the US and Canada, and yesterday we saw the participation and volumes from US and Canada again, and it affected quite a number of financial instruments. For the US dollar, we saw that the US dollar continued to strengthen yesterday. The UK pound continued to weaken, not only due to the strength of the US dollar, but also due to some data coming up from the BREXIT negotiations, which is ongoing between the European Union and the UK. So basically, the data was that there was not much progress being made in terms of the Brexit negotiations. That was part of the reasons why the UK pound fell about 170 pips yesterday. Okay. So in comparison, the euro dollar only fell about 62 pips in comparison to the UK pound, dropping about 170 pips. So we will have a closer analysis on the technical charts shortly. Let us get back to today's economic calendar. Economic calendar wise, we just have some minor data coming up from Switzerland, which is the unemployment rate coming up at 1:45 p.m. So markets are expecting this data to come in at 3.4% in terms of the unemployment rate. So any number above this, let's say it comes at 3.6 or 3.7%, theoretically that will be negative for the Swiss franc and to a certain extent the euro dollar. Okay. However, I would think it will not have a major impact on the euro dollar today. Moving on towards the evening sessions, we will have data from Canada. First of all, the housing starts data at 8:15 p.m. and more importantly at 10 p.m. Local Singapore and Malaysia time, we will have the Bank of Canada rate statements and overnight rates. Markets are expecting the rates to be maintained at 0.25%, and of course the Bank of Canada will also provide some commentary or oversight or forecast or predictions for the Canadian economy for the next 3 to 6 months towards the end of the year. Okay, and towards 10 p.m. also, this time from the US, we will be having the job openings and labor turnover survey data coming up from the US at 10 p.m. Okay, so these numbers are expected to come in at 6.05 million job openings and turnover numbers. Okay, so again, going back to what happened or the latest sentiment on the US dollar together with the major currencies and also on gold prices. The US dollar again continued to strengthen yesterday as early as as early as 4 p.m. local Singapore and Malaysia time. The US dollar not only was testing this resistance, but broke through the resistance convincingly at 4 p.m. and continued to move all the way up until this morning. Okay, so as the US dollar was strengthening at about 4 p.m. local Malaysia time, yesterday we were analyzing the UK pound at about 11 a.m. Local Singapore and Malaysia time, and it was testing these support levels, and we did mention that these support levels are not strong. True enough, later on at about 4 p.m. over here, as the volumes are rising, we do see the UK pound breaking these support levels of 1.3139 at the 4 p.m. Okay, so it was a very good move to get in early. So if you manage to sell at 1.3138, it drops to 1.3007 at about 9 p.m. local Singapore and Malaysia time yesterday. So this was a 130 pip drop, and later on, late in the US trading sessions at about 1 a.m. local Singapore and Malaysia time, the UK pound continues to drop from 1.3043 all the way to a low of 1.2950, dropping another 90 pips. Okay, so very nice moves, even from the day before on a Monday, on a Tuesday, going down all the way 180 pips for yesterday, and since Tuesday it has dropped about 300 pips. Okay, so amazing amazing opportunities to enter the markets for a trade and also to get a very handsome profit. Okay, so again, dollar strengthening 4 p.m, pound weakening. For today, currently, as you can see, the price is pretty quiet, so we need to wait until later on in the afternoon to see what kind of price action comes into play. However, rest assured that it is still largely bearish. Okay, it's still largely bearish. Further downside levels would come towards at about 1.2881 levels, okay, which is about 70 pips to the downside. And if it does have strength to move back up and go into a consolidation, immediate resistance levels is at 1.3043, which is about 90 pips to the downside. Okay, so about 90 pips to the upside. So about 90 pips to the upside, and about not this one. Okay, so about 90 pips to the upside, and to the downside is also another about 80 pips. Okay, so that is for the UK pound against the US dollar. For the euro dollar, again, yesterday we just saw the euro dollar coming down from 1.1816 at about 4 p.m. all the way down to about 1.1764, coming down about 50 pips. So as you can see, the euro dollar found support on the 4-hour charts, and moving forward, the immediate resistance is at 1.1797, which is just about 20 pips to the upside. Further up, if it does have strength to move up, we could be looking at 1.1804, which is about 35 pips to the upside. And to the downside, if it does break this consolidation phase, it could be going down towards 1.1703 levels, which is about 70 pips to the downside. Okay, so there is the range for the UK pound and also for the euro dollar today. But rest assured, if you manage to get a good profit from the UK pound yesterday, you can choose to wait out today's market for the UK pound and come back possibly on Thursday or Friday. Okay. Moving on to gold prices. Gold prices yesterday was largely bearish. Okay, so at about at about 4 p.m. local Singapore and Malaysia time, gold prices dropped from 1,931 all the way to a low of 1,906, going down about $24 before finding a good support, and then after rising from 1,910 all the way until 1,941, going back up $30, and currently it is trading at about 1,928, coming off from this short-term support levels of 1,922. Okay, so for today, if gold prices manages to push back up, we are looking at the immediate resistance of 1,940, which is about $13 to the upside. And if it does weaken back down, we are looking at support levels of 1,911 again, which is about $16 to the downside. Further upside, if it does have energy to push up, will be a target price of 1,949, which is about $21 to the upside. Okay, so we got to watch and see what happens during the afternoon session, UK session, and also towards the US trading sessions. Okay, oil prices continues to be weak. So as oil prices has been weakening since 2nd of September from a high of $43.16 to the current price of $36.60. So as the oil prices were weakening, we do see the Canadian dollar also weakening. So the chart prices showing us that in this case, the US dollar has strengthened against the Canadian dollar. Okay, so yesterday was a sharp strengthening of the US dollar. So it's a combination of the US dollar being bullish and also the Canadian dollar being very weak as the oil prices was dropping. So we do see a double boost for the US strengthening against the Canadian dollar. So yesterday, here's the one again at about 3 p.m. local Singapore Malaysia time, 1.3095 goes up all the way until 1.3225, strengthening about 140 pips against the Canadian dollar, the US dollar strengthening. Okay, so oil prices, this would be the current support levels. A couple of days ago, we were looking for oil prices to drop from $42 to about $35. So this would be the short-term support, and could still go down to about 35 US dollars in the middle term. Okay, so yeah, finally S&P 500. S&P 500 yesterday also dropped as early as 2 p.m. local Singapore and Malaysia time, from 3,445 levels all the way to 3,332 levels, coming down about 110 points. Okay, so let us just continue to watch the markets. Sentiment is still on a slightly bullish side for the US dollar, meaning that the UK pound, the euro, and other major currencies will be on a bearish sentiment. Okay, gold prices is currently consolidating on the H4 charts. Yeah, support levels was touched yesterday, again over here and over here previously, 1906 levels, and to the upside, if it does hit 1940 and later on 1949, the next target levels will be 1969. Okay, so I hope you guys have a good trading day ahead, and I'll see you again tomorrow for the next and latest market updates. Thank you, take care, have a good trading day.